Okay, bright and early, guys. I am dropping my son off at school, and then my daughter and I are going to sneak off to, yeah, baby, Trump rally. Let's see what happens today. You know, you can't show your Trump t-shirts in town for fear of getting pummeled or harassed or called a bigot. So, let's go and see what Donald Trump has to say. This should be fun. Okay, talk to you guys. All right, here I am. I've dropped my son off for school, and pretty soon I will be headed off to the Trump rally. Just some thoughts about the news today. We know that Trump has secured the Republican nomination, so all the people that said that could never happen, including myself at one time, were proven wrong, and clearly we're on our way to the presidency. The interesting news today was that Trump jokingly said that he would consider a debate with Bernie. So he's definitely trying to marginalize Hillary. No one in a million years would have thought that Trump would have his party's nomination secured before Hillary had hers. Of course, she had a horrible day in the news yesterday with the recent statements by the Department of State that she did basically do improper things and did not cooperate with the investigation. And of course, all she does is, cackle and laugh and considers that a big joke, I guess. She was also seen to be telling her staff to keep her personal emails private and such, perhaps to cover the millions that she was making in speaking fees and God knows what else she was doing for people when she was Secretary of State. But on to the debate. Okay, so a debate between Trump and Bernie. Wow, that is really tough. Now, I don't think Trump's going to have any trouble beating Hillary, and I do hope that she is the nominee because I think she'll be an easy beat. Honest to God, I think back to Reagan because there's tremendous support for Trump and it's bubbling up all over. And the more Hillary talks, the more people understand that she's got a specific point of view that's consistent with the current regime. And, I think people are looking for a change. But now the thing is, if Trump is going to secure the presidency, he is going to have to really appeal to the Bernie supporters. And it's quite a different demographic. I mean, Hillary has got the minorities, and she's got older people, but she doesn't have the younger generation at all. Matter of fact, they disdain her almost as much as they do Trump. But the thing is, if you had to choose and you were a young person and you were looking for change, I would have to think that given that consideration, if they were going to vote, if they just didn't get disenfranchised when Bernie drops out, if so, a lot of them probably will not vote at all. But if they did vote, I can't imagine them placing a vote for Hillary. I think they very well might consider Trump a better alternative for change than Hillary. Now, the thing is also, if there is a debate, I don't know how Trump would do against Bernie. I honestly don't. But I know one thing, that if he alienates the Bernie supporters, then he's going to have a much harder time securing the presidency because none of those people will vote for him once Bernie drops out. So if I were Trump, I would do the debate because I think it's a loogie right in Hillary's eye, which I love. But beyond that, I would be the most elder statesman I could possibly consider being. I would agree with him wherever there is agreement, and there's more agreement on some issues than you might think. And I would disagree professionally and politely. And I would also consider the age of the audience that is supporting Bernie and what it is they're looking for. So I don't know if Trump can deviate from his normal personality, but if he's going to debate Bernie, I think he really needs to put on a little bit different of a show. But I do think also that if they do this debate, it will be a Hillary and Obama hate fest. And because definitely Bernie is against the status quo and the the entrenched interests dominating the government. Is just his solutions are poor to dig us out of that mess. So that's my thought on that, and it's going to be off to the Trump rally. I've only been called a bigot once today, so let's see how many times that happens. You guys, talk to you later. Okay, we're in the Uber, headed off to the rally. There's me. There's my daughter. She's got her Trump shirt on. All right, we'll see what happens when we get there, guys. Okay, we're here at the convention center. There is a small police presence. We're very early. There is my daughter. Somebody's being petitioned to sign up for something. So we're walking in so far. No problem. Totally peaceful. The most aggressive people are the ones trying to sell us t-shirts. Small police presence as far as I can see. Okay, so to get into the event, there are a number of police that ask for your tickets, which I thought was unusual. So there were more police back in the venue, and they're actually looking for your registration. This is the area where you will see the protesting occur in about an hour. I'll play that clip in a minute. The police had high ground here, and there were more of them than I definitely realized when I look back at the protest videos. You'll see that in a little bit. Okay, we're inside. Huge police presence. Whoa, look at this line. You could do the handicap. The line you're looking at now is the metal detector line. The metal detectors were operated by the TSA, and there were only 10 of them for the entire several thousand people who were there. And it took forever to get through this line. Also, if you are going to this event or you go to an event like this, watch your cell phone carefully. My daughter's cell phone was actually stolen off the TSA table, either by the TSA or by somebody who was scamming them. So we had a lot of fun in line, actually, although it was annoying to have to wait an hour to get in. We saw all the t-shirts. So everybody was like-minded in this event, and they came from all walks of life. I will say that minorities were noticeably absent from this line. This was probably 99.5% Caucasian. But again, from all walks of life, and there was no charge to get into the event, and I think that brought some people in who probably didn't belong there, especially the guy with no teeth that was standing next to me.
Change is coming. It's coming. It's not the kind you hope for.
They also had mothers of killed children. These were mothers who had lost their children and young adults to illegal immigrants who were barely prosecuted or not prosecuted at all. And there was a surprising number of families up on stage who had lost children to illegal alien violence. Sarah Palin.
Thank you so much, California! California, are you ready to make America great again? Of course you are. Smart people live here. You are smart people. You know, you're really blessed, too, to live in a pretty perfect place. Think about what you have here, that natural beauty, the natural resources. The ag and the technology, the workforce, you have all that. It's pretty perfect. But those taxes, don't they just kick your butt? And some boneheaded political decisions out of your control, but things like government.
The invisible police presence all around the arena yesterday, separating the Trump protesters and supporters. There were more than 1,000 demonstrators at one point, including a large contingent.
Now, as this was going on outside, we inside actually had no idea that there were, dozens of people being arrested and waving Mexican flags and, trying to create chaos. So this was rather shocking when I came home and saw this on the news. I'll show you what was happening after the event, but inside there were quite a few delays, but I can see why the delays were happening now. The police did a great job of securing the high ground. They were almost like up on a little citadel there, and they had, so the entrance, the registered entrance came in one way, and the activists were all kept down below there. So anyway, Donald thanked the police later for their outstanding work. All right, and on the inside, finally, after about 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours on our feet, waiting in a sardine can-packed, standing room only event, Donald finally came out. I will say that logistically it was one of the worst rallies I think I could have imagined. It was poorly organized on the inside, and very, very uncomfortable to have to stand for 3 hours to hear your candidate speak. People kept pushing their way up and in, trying to get photos and selfies. And I wish we had went to the back where we could have maybe sat on the floor, because the people next to you were so close, and they started to smell bad. And there was a little old lady on one side of me. There was a very old lady who was only about 4'8". She couldn't see a thing, but she was happy to be there. At one point, she grabbed my wrist, and I thought she was going to faint. On my right side, there was like a Marine Corps, a lot of military, in this crew, a lot of veterans, a lot of military, big support factor for Trump. But yeah, I had like some 6'5" dude on my right side, and in front of me, some other guy was farting, and it was really, really uncomfortable. And Trump being late didn't help.
So yesterday we had a very big day. You saw that, right? 12:37. We reached it. Crooked Hillary cannot put Bernie away, and we won over 17. We're going to win all the way. We're going to go all the way. We're going to make America great again. It's going to happen. I want to thank you very much.
So regarding the crowd size, I think there were about 2,000 to 3,000 people in this room. It was they did not book a large part of the convention center. They booked a smaller part of the convention center, and it was filled to capacity, which I'm guessing was 2,000 to 3,000 people. And at one point, Trump said there were thousands of people outside. Well, that was true, but they were protesters, and most people that wanted to get in were in. Frankly, I think that this was a rather small turnout for San Diego. I was somewhat surprised that we only got 2,000 to 3,000 people, and perhaps it was the 3-day weekend, but I don't think that bodes well. I expected about 10,000 people in San Diego because the immigration problem is so severe. But it looks like he does not have the support down here that I thought he had. So California may not be in play like we thought. Just giving you my opinion. I actually have no idea. I mean, maybe everybody was off for their 3-day weekend, but it seemed like it should have been a bigger crowd. So finally the rally was over, and this was the scene after the rally. Not terrible, but not fun either. Okay, so that is my story. And it was interesting to have gone. I think the bloom is off the rose a little bit. It was kind of a poorly organized event, but nonetheless, the message is the same, and the speeches were about the same, and very little detail, but a lot of inspiring discussion. And I mean, pretty much anybody who was there is 90% opposed to the direction the country is going, and is happy that we're looking to reverse that. My daughter was able to register to vote, and that was good. And she saw that he's a human being, and he's not perfect. To watch the people outside, that was very sad to see. But this is democracy in action, and I was exhausted by the time I got home. But in the end, happy I did. Okay, you guys, take care. Louis signing out.